So most of my childhood was living in fear. You wake up every day just wondering what today's going to bring. Is today a good day or a bad day?
Heather Crosley-Simon says it was one or the other. There was no in between. She shared her family story with me in hopes it can help Oklahoma abuse survivors. Her mother helped change a domestic violence law in California more than a decade ago, and now she's continuing her mother's legacy by trying to do the same in this state.
Then politicians started getting involved and like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why are these women in prison? They were defending their lives.
I'd like to write and share my experiences and what I've learned and to help other women. I have faith it'll happen. I just don't know when.
Her thing was that she was going to be able to walk on the beach again.
Heather Crosley-Simon's mom longed to be at the beach.
Feel the waves and feel the sand in her toes, and that's in all the years that she was in. That's the thing we talked about was, you're going to be on the beach again one day, Mom. We're going to get you on the beach.
It's not just the soothing sounds of the waves that brought Glenda Crosley and her daughters some peace.
When we were on vacations, everything was great.
But it often came at a cost.
But then the day we come home, it could be all hell break loose.
Did you think that this was normal? This was the way it was supposed to?
I did think it was normal. I thought all families live this way. If he beat her, there was no guarantee we would get beat. But if we were beat, then she was always going to be beat after us.
Crosley-Simon says the constant 911 calls for help stopped by the time she was 7.
Because there was nothing the police could do.
Did you have conversations with your mom as a child about the abuse?
It's just not something we talked about. It was just our life that we just accepted.
There came a time when she says her mom couldn't accept it anymore and kicked her dad out of the house.
We actually thought that he had killed her. It wasn't until a few hours later that we found out that he was the one that was DOA.
Her mom said it was self-defense, but despite decades of abuse, she was convicted of second-degree murder.
He told me from the earliest days the only solution was for both of us to die.
Crosley was featured in a 2009 documentary called Sin by Silence. She not only became an advocate for victims. In 2012, her case helped change California's domestic violence laws.
Unfortunately, she passed away in July of 2013, and the bill was going into effect November 1st. They were just going to let her time served and let her out.
Her mother may not have gotten the chance to feel the sand between her toes once again, but Crosley-Simon hopes her story can change Oklahoma law.
We were able to bring up domestic violence,
giving women here a chance to get out before it's too late. What do you think your mother would think if she was alive today? What do you think she would say about the work that you're doing?
I don't think she would be surprised, and I do think she would be proud that I'm standing up for something that I really truly believe, and I'm standing up for those who can't speak for themselves, and I think she would be proud.
I know I have a mission. It's somewhere out there, and I'm going to get to it.
Now, we reference that Crosley-Simon is calling for legislative change. Well, she's referring to the Universal Defense Act. That's a bill that's authored by GOP Representative Tony Hasselbeck. If passed, it could potentially shorten sentences for people who can prove that they were abused at the time of their crime when it was committed. Other states like New York have already passed similar legislation. We will keep you posted on what happens with this specific bill.